Oh, I didn't notice you there. Once again, we find ourselves at a disadvantageous moment, requiring me to once again address you, dear viewer, directly. This is after the third recording session for Borderlands the pre-sequel with Inkie. And unfortunately, about halfway through, my graphics card decided to stop rendering the game, which obviously crashed the game, and unfortunately crashed OBS with it. So now you may be thinking this is going to me saying, I don't want to re-record it, we can't re-record it, it would lose the organic feel, so the series is over. Fortunately, that is not the case, but because the crash, for some reason, brought down OBS, it means it corrupted that file. The Fraps file was not corrupted. The OBS file was corrupted, which means the most terrible, calamitous thing conceivable has happened, and that is that there will be no face cam for the remainder of the game, because we beat the game in this session. We will have another session wherein we record the DLC, but for this last home stretch, you will not be able to gaze upon this beautiful visage, and for that you have my deepest sympathies. I'm terribly sorry. I hope I can make it up to you somehow, but at the end of the day, all I can really do is say, keep a stiff upper lip and try to persevere. So, I hope you can find it enjoyable, despite the lack of face cam. I think you will. I've had some weird stuff with temperature. Nothing quite that extreme, but like multiple times if I've gone from like a really hot place to a really cold place, I'll get a nosebleed.
Ooh. I've never had something like that happen to me. My mom's always told me, she's like, Annie, don't ever shift to cold water in the hot shower, and don't ever go from like being in a hot area to taking a cold shower. She's like, it'll kill you. And I'm just like,
I don't know that I would do that.
Well, she always gave me this story about a kid like in our town, which is the story that like he was on his bike all day long, and he was really hot, so he went home, he took a cold shower, and it killed him. They found him in the shower dead. I suspect that this actually did happen, but not for what she says.
Yeah.
He probably had heart issues that they didn't know, and, you know.
Yeah, like we had a guy on my swim team once who, it's a practice. I wasn't there, but, he basically was like, I don't feel so good, I'm gonna get out. And the coach was like, okay, fine, hope you feel better. And he didn't even make it to the locker room. Like, he just fell over and died on the pool deck, like from some heart thing. That's
terrifying. Poor kid.
Yeah, he was a teenager, like in high school.
Oh God, you have your whole world ahead of you. Jesus. That's terrifying. I don't know. I've been way more like conscious about, like, ever since I hit 30, I'm like, oh God, everything is gonna kill me. Like, I've become so aware of how absolutely mortal I am, you know? And so, dude, hitting 30 hit me real hard.
Interesting. Huh.
Okay, so you are recording.
I am recording.
Let me tell you the glorious tale of my plumbing issue with my neighbors. All right.
Okay.
Picture this. We're having a nice day. It's, you know, just a totally cool situation, and all of a sudden,
poop.
It's raining in my apartment.
Oh no.
I'm
like
on the
sudden,
second
like
floor.
It wasn't like drip, 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 it's just like rain.
Well, there was a sound, so I was hunting around looking for it, and I'm like, what the heck is that? I've never, like, what's going on? Like, I heard like a bunch of commotion upstairs, and I'm like, well, that's normal. And so I'm just like, all right. And then all of a sudden, just like from the little bitty sound to just a commotion of just rain everywhere. I mean, it's coming from the light fixtures. It's coming from the emergency like fire sprinklers. It's coming from our smoke detectors, even.
So
just
weird.
Everywhere. And so I'm like freaking. I like call the
We're
front
haunted.
office. I'm like, Belinda, what's going on? She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, oh my God, there's water coming out of the ceiling. There's water coming out of everything. And she's like, oh God, okay, I'm sending someone out. And so I guess and that's funny because the upstairs neighbors hadn't called anybody. Like they were trying to deal with it themselves.
That's
I'm like,
great. That's not gonna make things
sorry.
worse.
Once it gets into my apartment, yeah, I'm calling somebody.
As you should.
So apparently, their washer had broken.
The washing machine for the dishes or for laundry?
For their laundry.
Okay.
And it was just throwing, like, the thing was just throwing water everywhere. I'm like, why didn't you reach around back and just twist it off? There's an emergency, like, thing that you can turn off for the water to stop running.
Right.
Nope. It was just going full ham, buddy, just all over the apartment.
I had a problem. I had a girlfriend once who didn't know about that, and the toilet was overflowing. I don't remember why it was overflowing. That wasn't like, I don't think it was like she took a big crap or anything. It just happened to be like something wrong with it, and she didn't know to turn that off.
Well, I have a particularly rambunctious mother.
Rambunctious.
She's also like, she's a DIY person. She doesn't sit around and wait for someone to come and fix things. She'll just do it herself.
Ah.
And
that
so
is
anything,
cool, but not always the best course of action.
well, she's had great success with it.
Cool.
But she's 65 years old.
Those snipers.
And she continue. Where are they? Oh, there we go. And she continues to do this. So anything that I know from my mother, like, just like it can be done, it can be fixed. There's something. So I know a lot about like cars and washers and things that I probably shouldn't know about, but I do because of my mother. I can tell you stories of my mom being like, huh, I don't think I like the living room being on this side of the house anymore. I know what I'll do. I'll move the entire living room.
Wow.
Oh yeah. And she still does this at 65 with no problems. Just, I have to constantly call her and be like, Mom, what are you doing today? And she's like, well...
I am stuck. I am completely stuck between, like, the ground and the belt. I cannot move.
Oh, God! I see you! Oh, there you are.
Okay. Got popped.
You did it. You did it.
So, did any of your stuff get ruined from this rain? This indoor monsoon, like you're playing Jumanji?
Oh my God. Thankfully, no. The only thing is the carpet's a little smelly from having to wait.
Yeah, at least it wasn't bathroom water, it was laundry water.
God, oh God. I would leave. I would straight up be like, you know what?
It's
not worth it. I'm gonna go live with my in-laws.
It's a toilet apartment now, and will always be a toilet apartment.
Oh gosh, no! I just. So yeah, that was my adventure. But it was such a simple thing, but I was stuck there cleaning it for 1,000 years.
Just open all the windows, get all the fans.
Yeah, it was just, and then I had to have everything off, like all of the.
Oh right, all the electricity.
So I was just sitting here like, well, man, if it hadn't landed on my computer, there would have been a war. I'd have gone up and freaking uppercutted that lady.
Let's go investigate the landing site. Yeah, that's... I'm impressed that nothing was damaged.
It just... Well, because, okay, so the way that our apartments... I mean, all the apartments are the same when they're stacked on top of each other, yeah?
Right.
Where our washer and dryer connections are is in the dining room, which is pretty far away from everything else. So where the majority of the water was coming from, it was coming through there. Very little had actually spread to the rest of it.
Okay.
So it was pretty self-contained. I mean, some of it hit, and my computer and stuff is in the living room. So some of it did hit the living room, but not to a point where I was like, it wasn't my immediate concern, but I was just like, man, if I had gone into the living room and my computer had been wet, that you'd have seen me on the news. I'd have killed that lady.
Did they just overload their the laundry machine?
No, I think what happened was they had like a. I didn't get to talk to the upstairs neighbors, but like I talked to the lady up front. And she said, yeah, I think one of their on their washer, one of the sensors had gone off. Basically, the one that determines like for the water to stop filling up.
Oh, okay, so just a machine malfunction.
Yeah, it's just an old machine. So they were like, oh, all right. So they just got that replaced, but I'm like, dude, you gotta learn how to freaking shut that shit off. Like when something's happening.
Don't try and solve it yourself.
Yeah, like I mean, that's what the handyman is for.
Yeah.
Oh God, where are you?
That's fine. It's not, I'm not saying you shouldn't try to fix things yourself, but something's like, if it's an ongoing problem that's getting worse, get help.
Yeah, like if it's something that like, I mean, if it's
other
just
people's things
beyond your capabilities, just, you know, because the handyman is a nice dude. He comes and goes, and like you'll never know he was there. Like he's a pretty cool guy. We've been here for about 3 years.
Teleport to it.
Oh, well, you
out
know.
on the flats. That makes sense. It was a moonshot. I didn't think about that.
I didn't think about it either. I was just running around following you.
Me too. I was like, up there is where the teleporter is. He couldn't have crashed up there. I thought he got launched to some other part of the station for some reason.
I've forgotten everything about this game.
So my neighbor plumber story is not where I currently live, but I used to live in a place where so like, you know how generally every other apartment is a mirror, so like the water fixtures can like just go through one wall and then split into the 2 walls kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So my sink, my kitchen sink is direct, like there's a wall in between my sink and my neighbor's sink. And what was I doing? Is on my computer. Now my sink did have problems where it frequently got clogged. This is a very old apartment, so it didn't have a disposal. And I assume my neighbor was just an idiot and just was putting everything down the sink like normal anyway. So it would always have problems draining. Just washing dishes. Like I'm only putting water in. It's not draining, so it's clogged from my neighbor's side, I assume. So I'm at my computer and I hear like this kind of like sawing sound coming from the sink. So I assume like they're just doing stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. She hired a plumber. Hopefully that fixes things or whatever. And so I'm not paying any attention to it. And then I hear this rattling sound, like let's say, you know how like if you ring a triangle, like come in for dinner out of the farm, boys. It's kind of like that, but instead of a triangle, it's like a pot. It's like this very loud clanging sound, and it sounds like it's coming from in my apartment. So I get up and I go to the kitchen, and it turns out I'd had a metal strainer in the sink because I'd made pasta the night before, and their little garden weasel thing, it looks like a bottle opener, like corkscrew on like a long flexible thing, and so it had gone down their sink, up my sink, out the bottom, screwed into my colander, and the guy was still feeding it through. He hadn't realized, so it had lifted the colander out and just like flailing this metal thing all around in my kitchen. And so I'm like yelling like stop, and I guess he can't hear me. And so I'm holding onto this thing, and it's kind of like writhing like a kind of weak snake. And I just I eventually like rip it out because it's kind of like screwed through the hole in the sieve. And so I eventually rip it out. And like I kind of cut myself on it a little bit. And
oh no.
I just leave it there because as long as it's not hooked into anything, it's not causing damage. And I run over to my neighbor, and their door is just wide open. And it's like, hey, you kind of came out into my apartment. Like, oh, I'm sorry. And he pulls it back, and I guess he figures out how to steer it differently or something. But it was quite a surprise.
Jeez. I'd have been like, knock, 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 door open. Uppercutted him. I would have been like, what are you doing? What are you doing, you fool? Come look at this. I would have grabbed him. I would have pulled him in my kitchen and been like, look at this. Do you see this? Do you see this? I have
I
no
think
option
she
to
was doing it because she was moving out and she wanted to make the apartment all clear. Because after the new person moved in, my sink did not have troubles draining as much anymore. So that was nice.
That's nice.
Her
Oh,
parents were there. Okay, we can turn this in. To the moon!
we go.
We are on the moon. To the moon station.
There we go. We go. Oh, I'm stuck. There we go. Oh, I'm a bad driver. Oh, bad things are happening.
These things can be hard to drive. They're a little drifty.
They're much easier than the cars, though.
Oh,
the
yeah.
buggies.
I've been
Holy
playing
crap.
this like top-down space games. Like you just kind of fly around with WAS, but because it's a space game, you know, you're kind of floaty. Like momentum's a big deal. So, unfortunately, I found out that the easiest way to do combat against the NPC is I just don't move. I just kind of spin in place and shoot them while they fly around me in like their circles, because it takes so long to turn around because all the momentum. It gives me ample time to just blaze them. It's like
Holy
this is too bad. I want to play a game with good space flight that doesn't encourage me just to sit still, because it's too hard to fly around and hit a moving target from a moving target.
That is disappointing. Holy crap. Take note of this, developers. Fix this.
I actually just played. I assume this episode will go up first. No, at the time of if you're watching this episode, then I assume I already posted it. I just played a game before recording with you, called Gravitas, and it's basically Portal. Like you're in a station and there's talking comedy cubes at you, and instead of having a portal gun, you basically just have a glove that you can shoot certain surfaces, and it creates a column that pulls things towards it. And it was very well done. Like I played a lot of Portal clones because Portal's one of my favorite games of all time, and this one was very good. Puzzles were well made, comedy was fairly well on point. I don't know, I liked it a lot.
That's always pleasantly surprising.
Yes, definitely.
I'm just like, I don't know. I'm so
Holy
it's been
crap,
a
this
long time
shield's
since
good.
I've Ooh.
It has like 7 times my current shield's HP.
It's been a while since we've upgraded, I think.
Yeah.
But it
Oh,
like
yeah.
I haven't recorded anything in a long time, so it's been like every time I go to look for something, I'm just like, another platformer. Like another, you know, it's so I've not had luck finding anything that I want to play to record.
I'm
and I'm just
definitely
like,
in a slump right now. Like, I wish this game wasn't just like a 2-part game. I wish it was longer, because, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm kind of tired of the action platformers. I'm tired of doing Let's Plays of action platformers. I just want to find like a long, story-driven game. Like I was messing around with Warhammer 40k Space Marine today, and it's cool, but I don't like the gameplay. It's very hack and slash, which isn't really my style. What do we got? Defend the loader. Oh, great, defense missions. You know that past Borderlands didn't have defense missions?
yeah, there you go.
For a reason.
Because they're annoying. Nobody
Yeah,
likes
they suck.
nobody likes doing that or escort missions. Come
Yep.
on.
They're very similar. What is this? What'd you drop? Oh no, just defend that point. Okay. I wonder if you can do both missions at the same time. Like, escort the thing, while also protect the thing.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Multitask.
But extra frustrating, I think.
That is true. Managing both things at once would be hard. I need to use my Ghostbuster gun. Where did I put it? I don't think I ever equipped it. It's in my inventory somewhere, probably.
No.
Freeze. I'm watching, on Netflix, they have all of the Batman TV show, which I didn't watch as a kid. And it's very well done. I mean, it does some things I don't like with a lot of the villain origins. Like, it really changes them for the worse. But they're still very cool villains in their differences. And the rest of the show is very well done. Like, I feel like the Arkham City games, or just the Arkham games, drew on this show the most for its look.
Are we talking
Arkham's-
about the animated series?
Yes. Called
Oh.
The Batman.
The Batman.
It's got a really interesting intro music. It's all mysterious, like which is good because Batman is the detective. And then there's no lyrics, it's just like this mysterious music, and it goes, "The Batman," and then the show starts. It's like, this is weird for a kids show, but I kind of like it.
Oh man, there's DC very like walks the line of kids shows for adults, you know, kind of thing. Yeah.
I can't remember what he said, but Nostalgia Critic poked fun at that in a recent video. It is very on point. I still haven't seen Batman vs Superman. I don't think it's in theaters anymore.
I think I watched Deadpool again last night.
Again? Nice.
I got like a free rental for it.
I didn't know it was out already. I guess I did see that there were commercials for the DVD specials, so that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I guess so, cause like I don't know. It's a website called, I think it's called Cinema Watch or something like that, and it gets movies pretty early. And they were like, "Hey, you want to watch Deadpool for free?" And I'm like,
"Yes."
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know.
This is a trick question.
I watched it again last night, and I'm like, God, this movie is fantastic. What a fantastic movie.
Yeah. I really love the soundtrack in that movie. Like that Michael Jackson bong bong.
Oh man.
So good.
Everything in that movie was so on point. Like their marketing was good. The actual movie itself was good. The music was good. The casting was good.
Yes.
I can't even be. I will never. I've forgiven Ryan Reynolds for everything. I've forgiven him for Amityville Horror.
For Green Lantern.
For Green Lantern.
I never thought the problems with Green Lantern were Ryan Reynolds' fault.
Oh no, absolutely not. Because you could tell that he was acting to the best of his ability. I think it was
it's all about the writing and whatnot, yeah.
And it was rough. It was a rough gig. They didn't seem to care very much about that movie.
Good. I hate Green. I don't like the Green Lantern anyway.
I mean, I like Green Lantern. I like the idea of Green Lantern.
I like Green Lanterns. I like the idea of the power, but I just think it's used very weirdly a lot of the time. I understand it's just his power reflects how his mind works, but like a good example would be he wants to shoot a guy. So rather than shoot a beam of energy from his ring and shoot the guy, he'll like construct like a gun and then shoot them with the laser guns. Like, why? Yeah. It's such a waste of your energy.
It's so good, but I think that was like the I don't know, that was like the selling point. Like they were like, look, he can do all these things, and they're like, look at all the toys we can make out of it.
That's true.
You know?
Like I really like when what's the black Green Lantern from Earth? John
I can't think.
Something.
John Stewart.
Yes, John Stewart. I really like when he does it because I mean, even though it's an even bigger waste of power, because he's an architect, like all of his things like mechanically work. They have all these like struts and supports and stuff in them, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I know that the Green Lantern that'll be coming out in the next DC movies will be John Stewart, so I'm excited about that.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
That'll be more fun. I don't know. Nothing against the first Green Lantern or anything, but I just
everything against the first.
He just wasn't my favorite. He never was my favorite. Oh, that's what we're doing. I'm not paying attention.
Loading these guys.
Loading the loaders.
You protect him? God dang it. Great. Just what I wanted to do.
More protection.
You're doing a lovely job, Athena.
All I did was pull out my shield.
Well done.
You did it. I've done it.
You did it. You took the cookie from the cookie jar.
I'm just gonna kill him from the mouth of the beast here.
I'm curious how the Doctor Strange movie will be.
You know? He looks good in the outfit.
That is true.
He looks right.
And I like Tilda Swinton.
I do too. Oh, I love. I've loved her ever since Constantine, which is a weird.
I've not seen Constantine.
You're not missing much. It's a
That's
Keanu Reeves movie.
As a vampire hunter or something.
No, he's John Constantine, like comic book Constantine.
Oh right, the DC hero, the DC.
Mm-hmm.
I bet she's the same character then, probably.
Oh yeah. But
the only thing I've really read, oh no, it can't be the same character because Marvel, right? I'm an idiot. But basically the same character. I was getting confused because I was thinking of in DC I've read some Sandman comics. There's a lot of like random like magic users in that look just like regular guys. They're in like Constantine.
Oh yeah, like it's an okay movie. I know there's gonna be a lot of people that are like, "Fuck you, this is a good movie." It's entertaining.
Is it better or worse than Blade?
Oh, you're asking the wrong person because I love Blade.
I say Blade seems really good, right? So it's probably not better than Blade.
No, absolutely not. It is absolutely not better than Blade. Well, okay, so Blade 1 and Blade 2, okay. Blade 3, not great.
I think I've only seen the one.
You're fine then. You really don't need to see Blade 2 because it didn't need to be made. They were making money.
Have you ever seen a movie with, I think the main actor was Paul Bettany, who's the current Vision. And it just took place in like a post-apocalyptic future where vampires kind of ruled everything. They like farmed like synthetic blood, but then they discovered a flaw in the synthetic blood that caused them to become like feral. And so Paul Bettany was like a monk, like going around killing vampires. I'm trying to remember. It's a really weird movie.
Is that Priest? That sounds like Priest.
It sounds like Priest sounds like an accurate name.
Maybe it is.
Because he had like very Van Helsing weapons, you know, like a cross that's also a bladed like boomerang kind of crap.
Oh yeah, that is Priest. That's based off of a comic, it's based off of a graphic novel. I remember because my husband was reading it, and he did the thing. Well, we were dating at the time. He did the thing where he comes running, just running. He's like, "There's gonna be a Priest movie." He was so excited. It wasn't a terrible movie. I mean,
it was. Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't read the comic. I know I read a lot of Tank Girl, and that was a terrible movie.
I think I suffer from nostalgia in that movie because I saw it when I was young, and I'm like, I love this movie. Like, I'll always love it because I saw it as a kid.
That makes sense.
Did a lot for me as a kid, which I don't think I probably should have been watching that movie as a kid.
No,
but, you know, whatever.
I would think not.
My parents were very hang loose kind of parents.
I see. It's above us.
They ended up with a crazy creative kid because of it.
I don't know how to get above us to where the thing is. I'll go around.
Let's see if I remember.
I'm just gonna run around. The long way.
There should be, yeah.
I'm looking forward to the Preacher TV show. That should be very interesting. I want to see what they put in, because Preacher... Were we talking about this before? I think we were talking about this before already. Preacher is one of the most graphic things I've ever read. And the fact they're making a TV show of it is like, wow. Surely they can't have all of these things. I just literally a scene with a bulimic pope.
Oh god.
Yeah, he's got like a golden finger on a stick, which he uses to make himself puke so he can eat more. I think Mr. Creosote as the Pope.
Where is this going to be airing?
America, I think.
What channel? Like, what are they, like,
HBO?
Daytime TV? Oh, they'll be able to do a lot on HBO.
Yeah, but I want to see what they do. I'm sure they'll be able to do a lot. I just want to see how far they get.
That's good. I like when stuff comes out like on Showtime and HBO, because then you get more of a realistic approach to it as opposed to a watered down.
I was like, I hadn't seen the Rogue One trailer until I saw Captain America: Civil War, and the things I really liked about the trailer, I really liked, but I realized they were the same things I liked about the last Star Wars trailer, and it didn't deliver really. So both the original, the most recent Star Wars trailer and the Rogue One trailer show almost like Saving Private Ryan-esque scenes of war in Star Wars, like very gritty, like stormtroopers being ragdolled and like thrown from explosions, like cool stuff. I want to see realistic Star Wars war. And in the most recent movie, there's only like all the scenes from the trailer were like There's like 2 of them in the movie. I mean, all the scenes were there. There just wasn't that much. The scenes didn't go much beyond what we saw in the trailer. And so I'm hoping Rogue One has a lot more of the war stuff.
I doubt it.
I doubt it as well.
But here's hoping, just for the sake of, you know... Ah! Don't shoot at me, dude. I'm on a mission. Here, have a grenade.
From God. We who make battle our trade know war is the natural state of man, and war has no rules. Nobility, patriotism, valor. These are merely tricks to help soldiers. Those who fight to win and to survive embrace all paths to victory. Asheth Magnus. That is an incredibly odd quote to have on the front cover of your friggin' rule book.